Good afternoon to you and welcome. This is Social Reports on Osrc Television. My name is Oyewumi Ayini. There is a fresh hope for residents of Ijoka in Akure South local government area of the state as work finally resumed on the long-abandoned road project. After months of complaints and protests, the contractor is back on site with men and machines. Joy Pius reports that the construction work is anticipated to ease congestion, improve connectivity, and boost the local economy.
Heavy machinery and workers have returned to Ijoka Road in Akure South, ending months of abandonment that left the road in a terrible state. The Ondo State government had promised to mobilize the contractor back to site after residents staged protests over the deplorable condition of the road. The sight of graders and workers has brought visible relief to the community that has endured dust, potholes and traffic gridlock for years, as residents call for speedy completion.
This week, I discovered that the government is trying. We can see a transformation. The truck they were tipping, when we saw it, we were all happy, and we are hoping that from now henceforth, there will be more transformation. I really appreciate the governor of Ondo State.
Ìyàtọ̀ ti wà torí ara àwọn mọ́tò kan kó oríṣiríṣi irinṣẹ́ wá síbí. A dẹ̀ rí pé bí ojú ọ̀nà yìí ṣe wà tẹ́lẹ̀ ó ti yàtọ̀ ní sí ti àtẹ̀yìnwá. So inú wa dùn gidigidi.
Mo rí wọn tí wọ́n lòdù ẹ̀fẹ̀ ní apá òkè lọ́ọ̀yọ̀ ikú àṣùwà. Inú mi dùn gan pé lóòótọ́ àpòtẹ́s ó dẹ̀ kàn wọ́n lára wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé ìgbésẹ̀.
Bí wọ́n bá wá ṣe ọ̀lẹ́ tó rà àfẹ́ tí àwa kan àwa tá a ṣe bísíǹsì àtàjà kankan torí kò sẹ́ni tó lè rajà nínú dọ́ọ̀sì abẹ́ wọn pọ̀ jù.
I can see that you are doing the work from coming from your job, okay, or there. They are doing the work small. There all this, you can see the roof now, everything is a red color. Without paint the house, we are seeing that red color. So that we have begged the governor so that help us do the road be fast.
The contractor says the state government has released funds to ensure uninterrupted work.
So presently we have resumed back to the work, and I believe in short time we'll be able to deliver. Last time I think we started from Okeya, the end of the project. We took it to very close to this Abuchoro junction. We have done the stone-based work. Because unfortunately, because of what happens, so we have to readdress the stonework again, trying to clean the surface and put another stone base. After the stone base, we prime it. After the priming, especially the asphalt. Whenever they are doing anything artwork or stone-based work, they will experience dust. But presently, the water tanker is at work. Very soon we'll bring the water. We wet for them. We wetting it as soon as we are working. They'll be wetting. Even when we are not on site, we will tell him to go and wet. So they should be patient with us for now.
He assured residents that work will now progress rapidly to meet the new completion deadline. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Libraries have long served as important centers of learning, research, and intellectual development. But in the digital age, concerns are growing over whether students still visit these facilities as they once did. Blessing Nobe reports on the declining use of libraries in the state and what stakeholders are doing to address it.
For centuries, libraries have been at the heart of education and knowledge preservation. But today, many of these spaces are struggling to attract young readers as digital platforms continue to reshape how students learn. In Ondo State, school administrators say they have observed a steady decline in library use among students. They attribute the trend to a weakened reading culture and the increasing pull of social media and online tools.
The internet is a great problem that we are facing in this generation. Majority of them are so consumed with the social vices through this internet, and they don't really have time to read. It's not even the library that is the problem, but they are not having that time to read.
We found out that of late, students no longer patronize the library, even when facilities there are up to standard, when books are there. Students find it very uneasy to go to the library to read, and it has to do with this culture of students not minding their business as far as education upliftment is concerned.
Yet, in the midst of this decline, some students still make deliberate efforts to visit the library for learning.
It drives me to be visiting the library. This is because when I visit the library, I'm so interested and I'm motivated. Because when I visit it, I'll see there's books and I'll read there and gain more interesting topics.
Library is good too because I really like library. Because our class is too crowded, so I need to come. Library is so silent and there's so many books in libraries.
But even with these testimonies, numbers continue to drop. This is the Ondo State Library in Akure. The hall can seat over 100 readers, yet staff say less than 50 people visit in an entire week. The director of the Ondo State Library Board, Abiodun Bagbe, confirms the decline. He says outdated materials, infrastructural challenges, and the rise of e-libraries are major reasons students are turning away from physical libraries.
There's a big shift from the the usage of traditional library to the electronic library. And when you say electronic library, that's the electronic version of the traditional library, that is the physical library. And for the student, the readers, to really patronize our service here, that means that we need to make the library so inviting. I'm sorry to say the library has not been totally inviting to people because there are some infrastructures that ought to have been put in place.
School authorities say they are now adopting new strategies to stimulate interest and revive the reading culture among young people.
When I got here, I decided to start silent reading. Number one, it will enable the student to really know the importance of reading. So when they have this reading culture, it will be very easy for them to be visiting the library.
Experts argue that despite the rise of e-libraries, digital resources, and artificial intelligence tools, physical libraries remain vital for focused learning and knowledge preservation. Calls continue to grow for government investment in modern libraries in schools and communities across the state. Experts are urging Nigerians to tap into the digital age by nurturing a strong reading culture from an early stage. They believe that embracing this can help shape a generation of better informed citizens. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
The AIDA administration says it remains committed to enhancing food sufficiency through impactful agricultural practices in the state. Commissioner for Agriculture and Forestry, Leah Akinola, while featuring on Osrc Current Affairs program State of the State, assured the people of the state that food security remains a priority of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa and his team. Akinola also explained that the current mapping of farmlands in government forest reserves is not to witch hunt farmers, but to enhance adequate planning and improve cocoa farming. The commissioner also revealed that there are plans to embark on massive seeds and seedlings production, procurement of tractors towards mechanized farming, among other support for farmers in the state.
We have fish farm, demonstration farms, where we train those who are willing to go into commercial production, you understand, or to for sustainability of their life, of their livelihood. But we are still going there. You know, your slogan is that government has no business in doing business. Of course, this require Yoruba will say incoming is different from inconwa. You understand? When you say this belong to the state, what is the culture? It's like when I was discussing with Mr. Governor recently, who has graciously allowed us. Of course, he was concerned about what about the tractors that we have been buying before now. He made a statement, of course. I was worried myself, but I just have to tell Mr. Governor that, sir, if we want to involve our youth in agriculture, we cannot give them hoes and cutlass. We still have to procure tractors. And thank God graciously he accepted that. But he was concerned. You know, he's a manager of resources. You understand? Mr. Governor will not allocate the resources to where that resources will go into the drain. No. That is why some people will say, no, he doesn't do that. For if he want to approve for you, you have to convince him that there is value for the money, and it's not going to just go into the drain. You are going to make sure the result is going to surpass even the input that you have put into it. So what am I trying to say? We are working around the clock. Our getting back to our farm settlements, of course, getting land. So once we get this land available in the free area with the communities, we have to plan, because it requires a lot of planning. Land clearing is more expensive around the southwest than in the north. Okay. So we have to bulldoze, but in the north they don't need to bulldoze. They can just acquire a tractor and they take it to their farm. So it's more expensive in this area. We have to bulldoze then before we plow and also with tractors. So what am I trying to say? We are planning assiduously.
When will these plans materialize?
Very soon.
How soon?
Very soon. Of course, by next year, you begin to see results. But this exercise we are doing in the forest reserve, of course, is taking our time. We want to factor. Of course, I was telling the Ondo State Cocoa Council that they should help me appeal to the exporters who had mapped farmers in the free area. We need their data. If you don't have data, how do you plan?
He appealed to residents to continue to support the Aiyedatiwa administration in its quest towards further developing in the state. As artificial intelligence is advancing at a record speed, cyber threats are becoming more sophisticated, and social media continues to shape public behavior on a massive scale. These three forces, AI ethics, cybersecurity, and social media, are now intersecting in ways that present both incredible opportunities and serious risk. Our reporter Adewumi Taiwo tells us more.
The ethics of artificial intelligence is no longer a technical debate. It's a question of trust, fairness, and human rights. Without clear global standards, AI systems can reinforce bias, compromise privacy, and make life-changing decisions without transparency or accountability.
The use of AI for content creation has to follow ethical standard of AI. For instance, using AI to malign, to do all sorts of things that can bring disrepute to individual emotion or things, all those things are things that are taken care of by ethical use of AI. You must know the limit of using AI. You must know when to use AI. You must know the effect of the content you are creating, not only on individuals, on the society at large.
It is important to note that
the end result of using an artificial intelligence is affect humans. When there is a fault in any system, say for instance there is a form of inaccuracy or something in any system, somebody has to be responsible. Now, one of the things the ethical part of AI does is accountability, being able to trace a particular fault to a particular source. The fact that there is artificial intelligence does not mean you should be susceptible to data leak or information wrongly, accessed. There has to be some form of ethics guiding the practice of it.
AI can kind of like serve as a surveillance system, and it can also cross the line into over surveillance. That is, it can infringe on individuals' privacy rights without consent. So that is one of the ethical issues.
But even as the world tries to regulate AI, cyber criminals are weaponizing it. Hackers now deploy adaptive phishing schemes, AI-generated deepfakes, and ransomware that studies its targets, attacks that easily outpace traditional security methods. Denial of service disruptions and supply chain infiltrations are also rising, prompting governments and organizations to embrace zero-trust security models and exploit quantum-resistant encryption.
The coming of AI into the issue of cybersecurity is both a blessing and a curse. Because, number one, there are new threat landscape with the coming of AI, and there are new countermeasure approaches with the coming of AI. So it's both a blessing and a curse. But the most, in Nigeria, we always talk of the one we call the business email compromise. The one we call Yahoo Yahoo. In professional terms, it's called business email compromise. It used to be called personal email compromise, but it's called business email compromise. Yes, it's under that, but what is the most potent is phishing. Is the most potent as far as we are concerned in Nigeria that affects individuals.
One of the threats is human error. Now, most users don't know how to correctly store data. Now, in not knowing how to store data, there are people waiting at the end of a data that is not correctly stored to hurt you or to harm the system. People sometimes leave some loopholes, and in the process of testing for vulnerabilities in your system, they get into it and make use of whatever it is they want to do.
When a human who is corrupt, a human who wants to perpetrate evil, handles any software that is AI driven, it can be manipulated. Now, what do they do? Take for example, we have cyber threats, we have cyber crime, where somebody can just sit in his house and commit a crime in the comfort of his room. Somebody can just send you. There's what we call phishing. Somebody can send you an email that looks like the original. Maybe you are looking for a job. Somebody can just sit in the comfort of his room and send you an email that looks like the original. And before you know it, you are scammed.
And then there is social media, a platform that connects billions, yet also fuels misinformation, polarization, and growing mental health concerns, especially among young people.
We have been encouraging all the traditional media platforms, television, radio, newspaper, magazine. They must have their own social media platforms so that it will reduce the spread of fake news. Once there is something they post on social media, you can verify it. If it's on Osrc platform or Orange FM platform, you will know that this is a credible media platform where you can find out about that particular story that is being, or rumor that is being spread. So the advent of social media for our community, driving of community development, it has been enormous. And the negative aspect as well, it has been issue of fake news.
As AI ethics, cybersecurity threats, and social media influence converge, experts warn that the choices made today will determine whether technology strengthens society or deepens its vulnerabilities. Adewumi Taiwo, Osrc News.
The insecurity in the border communities of Kebbi and Kwara states underscores deep-seated national challenges, weak border control, rising poverty, and expanding criminal networks. While security agencies it is evident among Nigerians that coordinated action, stronger surveillance systems, and genuine community involvement are required for lasting. And that concludes Social Reports on Osrc Television. Do join us at 6 for news updates. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.
Cool.